This is Reality Dispatch, written by Jim Mintz.
The day was hot, and I was out of water. There were no ponds or creek beds, no watering holes, no rivers nearby. I needed to seek shelter. I was out in the heat for the entire day before this one. Before that one, too. The town appeared like a mirage. At first I thought it was a mirage. I thanked the eagle spirits that soared above, but then I decided they were trying to trick me so that I would lay down my weapons, get off my horse, and give up my spirit willingly. I was not yet ready to join them in the other lands, which is why the town gave me hope. But when I felt that it was a trick from the spirits, I lost hope. Hope is luck. Action is your only god. That's what Captain Call said to me many moons ago. I never understand why the captain was such a silly old man. I didn't join his outfit because I thought he was silly, even if he did rescue me from the Apache. He would say that he rescued me. To my surprise and joy, the town was real. I rode in and placed my horse by the stables. Immediately the men walked out of their houses and stores and watched me. Suspicious eyes. I felt their razor eyes. I felt them cut me like a knife down my back. They wanted to kill me. I had a weapon in my holster, 3 bullets. I took it off a dead man. I have never fired it, but I liked having it there. I liked showing it to people so that they would know. I did not take it off a dead man. I found it in an abandoned camp that had been ambushed during a gunfight. The bodies of the men had long vanished, swallowed by the earth. Their spirits had left earlier than that. The weapons lay there untouched in the heat, attracting flies and rust. The weapon probably did not fire due to the rust. I probably should have tried to fire it to be sure, but with 3 bullets, I did not want to waste them. I remembered I was thirsty. We usually don't serve no kind like you, but since you're armed, I don't want no trouble in my bar, the man behind the counter said to me. I just want a glass of water, I said. Stick your head in the trough, stranger. We don't want your kind in our town, said a man beside the bar. It's okay, Joey. I don't want no trouble. The young man just wants a glass of water, and he will be on his way, won't you, son? The barman asked me. I nodded. He placed the drink on the counter, and I walked over and swallowed it almost whole. Some footsteps were walking toward me. I put my hand on my gun like I always did, before I could turn around to see who was approaching. That won't be necessary. Turn around slowly with your hands where I can see 'em, a man said. I raised my hands and moved my feet as asked. I faced the man. He wore a badge, the sheriff. Where did you get that weapon, son? He asked. My father, I said. Your father in the army? No, sir. That is a United States Army-issued Colt. I did not respond. Have I got myself a dead colonel on the outskirts of my town you need to warn me about? Again, I said nothing. Best you'd better be coming with me. He held me in the cell next to a courthouse. It was dusty, and I could see holes in the wall where the rats would be coming in at night. He told me the judge would be round in a month or 2, but if it took too long, my matter would be heard by the marshal. He then told me I should expect to be hanged by Christmas. Stealing a white man's gun. Ain't you folks got any decency round yonder? Then he left me. Hanged by Christmas. It made me wonder what time of year it was. How long would Christmas be from now? I was thirsty again. That 1 glass was not enough. I tried to ask the sheriff for more water, but he had left me alone for a very long time. The building was quiet. I could try to dig through the rat holes to make them bigger. Maybe I could fit through the bottom if I opened it up wider. It was a risk. Someone may see me, and then they would hang me sooner. It was dark when the sheriff returned, and he was joined by other men. They had all gathered around this other white man who was thrashing about. He was very angry. He roared like a lion and barked like a dog. They shot at him and hit him over the head, but still he would not be tame. There were so many white men trying to hold this one man down when they stormed inside. Mine was the only cell, so the men who were not holding down the thrashing angry man ran over to get cell keys by the sheriff's desk. They returned, trying to find the one that would open the door. They were all in a panic over this violent white man. He was very angry. He was biting at them. He had a hold of one of the men with his teeth on the flesh of his shoulder and would not let go. The man was screaming in pain. They should have killed that man, for it would have been a lot worse to live with the pain than to die, and let the spirit free. That's what he was doing over on Mayflower Square. He was biting anyone who passed. Poor old Chrissy B, she been bit. Now she acting just like him, one of the white men said. Get him in the cell, the sheriff yelled. I can't get him off, Sinclair. They all heaved the man, dragging him across the floor of the sheriff's office. They opened the cell door and pulled him inside. He still had the man's shoulder in his mouth. The man had gone to sleep. The men all left the cell and locked the door. I sat on the one bed and looked down at my new cellmates. The biting man was asleep. So too was the bitten man. It probably ain't safe to leave that little Injun boy in there with them, Sheriff. Better him than us, the sheriff said. The men then left us and locked the door of the sheriff's office so no one could get in or out. They did not leave me an oil lamp, and it was dark, so I could not see the sleeping men lying in a pool of blood on the floor, but I could not hear them breathing either. I knew that they were dead a short time later, but a beam of moonlight began to fill in the holes in the roof and the floor, and I could see figures, and these figures began to move, even though the men were dead men. I knew I was going to be bitten, just like that white man had been bitten, and my body would lose my spirit and house the spirit of the evil that lay inside these men. I sang the spirit song. It was taught to me by my elders. I remembered it. It used to scare me when I was a small child, but I sang it loud. I finished it and sang it again, for it was not a long song, but it was a powerful one. I urged it to spare me an ungracious death. I called for these men to leave the cell and pursue the white men if they must, but to leave my poor body behind. I was a condemned man. I was waiting for justice. My song spoke to the evil inside these men, and the evil listened. The men did not take notice of me. These two men instead held their hands on the iron bars of the prison cell and pulled until the bars broke away from the stone that held it. They freed themselves. Then they used their strength to break down the front door. Then they left me. I sat on the bed of the cell, and I thanked the spirits for listening to my call. I knew my day would come soon, as a payment I had just made. It is not wise to make a deal with evil, but I thanked the spirits for letting me. There was a tap and sink by the sheriff's desk and a place for him to relieve himself. I drank from the tap until I could not drink anymore. Then I left the place that held me and walked out into the night. I knew I would not be followed, for the town was screaming. There was so much screaming. No, they would not care for a little Injun boy like me, not at such a time. I sang to the spirits as I walked into daybreak.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimmins.substack.com.